4 police officers accused of killing Mthokozisi Ntumba have each been granted bail of 8,000 rand in the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court. Ntumba was killed during the Wits student protest earlier this month. Tsepiso Kekana, Sidras Mutseutata, Madimicha Likhodi and Victor Mohammed are facing charges of murder, attempted murder and defeating the ends of justice. Let's cross live now to eNCA reporter Aviwe Mtila, who's been following this court proceeding for us this morning. Aviwe, good afternoon. This lunchtime, can you just tell us more what actually happened in court? We understand the 4 officers are now out on bail, and usually when a court grants bail, there will be conditions.
Yes, there are certain conditions attached to the granting of bail, but they have been granted bail of 8,000 rand each, which they're supposed to settle before they're released. The magistrate Sibanyoni believing that they won't obstruct with justice. They are not flight risk as they have no passports or any relatives outside the borders, and they won't believing that they won't conceal evidence, believing that the purpose of bail is for the accused to come to court, and it should be in the interest of justice, believing that they are innocent until they're proven guilty. But I am joined by the attorney for accused number 2, Mthokozisi. Thank you for joining us at eNCA, but you must be elated that your client is out on bail.
Thank you very much. Confirming that I'm very much happy that my client is out on bail, and I'm also happy that the court correctly interpreted Section 60, subsection 4 of the Criminal Procedure Act relating to the issue of the release on bail. Indeed, the applicants, all of them, successfully proved that it is in the interest of justice for them to be released on bail, nothing else. And when I looked at the way that the state presented its case, he wanted to dwell much on the merits of the case. However, the court did not even want to go there. It wanted to focus on what is in the interest of justice for them to be released on bail.
I want to touch to those merits of the case, though, because the state seems to suggest that the 4 policemen used unnecessary force to students who were not violent. These weren't even Wits University protesting students, but students from the Johannesburg Engineering Institute waiting for a bus. Surely, and we hear that they shot these students at close range while they weren't even part of this process. These are serious allegations against your client.
It's serious allegations against my client, not for purpose of bail, but for purpose of trial. During bail application, more especially if it's Schedule 5, we don't even go there. We don't even entertain the merits of the case. So that is why during my argument I even told the court not to consider the issue of what happened and what did not happen. What is more
in considering it, though, what's your client saying about these serious allegations? I mean, shooting students who aren't even protesting at close range is something serious. How are you going to defend that?
If you read or if you heard the applicant's affidavit, he says that I will plead not guilty and I don't want to disclose the basis of my defense. So at this moment, he's not ready to disclose the basis of his defense. He's just leaving it to the state to prove, as the duty is with the state to prove that indeed he's guilty as charged.
Mthokozisi representing accused number 2 at this moment, not wanting to go into the merits of the case, but all 4 policemen have been released on bail, and you understand the outrage, public outrage, was also considered here, with Magistrate Sibanyoni saying that the state did not prove any evidence that supports that either the students or the community will be outraged by them being released on bail.
Yeah, and very quickly, Aviwe, maybe I missed it, just to remind our viewers, in terms of conditions when you're out on bail, if you're not a flight risk, were there conditions like if they have passports, they must hand over the passports, or that they must report to a police station pending them appearing again in court? Were there any such logistical items outlined by the court?
Certainly those have been outlined. They don't have passports, so they are not to apply for any passports at this moment. They're to regularly come to court on the dates that are set out by the courts. But there is an interesting one. They're not supposed to go to 27 De Beers Street in Bloemfontein, where the crime scene is. They were arguing if they need to go there to support their case. But it was asked that an investigating officer should accompany them them if they are to go back to the crime scene. You understand the crime scene is where the Johannesburg Institute of Engineering and Technology is, where the shooting happened. So the state believes that they could interfere with some of the witnesses from that institute, because you understand there are 3 attempted murder cases, which is the shooting of the students from that institution that were waiting for the bus at the bus stop as the police came and fired, according to the state.
Thank you very much, Aviwe Mtila, there this lunchtime with that update, with those 4 police officers now out on bail in connection with the killing of Mthokozisi Ntumba during the Wits student protest in Braamfontein.